Then came the hardest layer, when all my effort felt invisible. When I started sharing online, my dream was simple but big. I wanted to inspire people. I had this picture in my head. I wanted to share my stories, my reflections, my healing, but not just for me, but so that others could find themselves too in it. So I imagined like a ripple effect. I share my stories, people watching, they're resonating, they're writing me back, they're telling me how much I helped them. I dreamed of impact, of connection, of lives being touched. But then, reality. So I poured my heart into these videos, and often it felt like they went into nothingness. No one would see them. Silence, maybe a few likes, and these are my friends, maybe one or two comments. So it really seemed like what I did stayed invisible. It's absolutely useless what I do. And I had many of those moments when I was about to quit, my YouTube channel and all my social media, and there it was again. I was sitting at my desk, staring at the screen, and I didn't even want to think about creating another video. Even the word content made me feel sick. So the knot in my throat was so tight. My chest felt heavy, my breath shallow. And yes, there was again this bitter taste in my mouth, in my body, the taste of defeat. I thought, this is useless. No one cares. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. That's ridiculous what I'm doing, and I should immediately stop embarrassing myself. Now, that's the place I fell into. But I fell into this hole not because the numbers were small, but because I made them mean that I was small, that I was invisible and ridiculous. And in that heaviness, I did what I knew was my way to get out. I slowed down. So I didn't push it away, I sat with it. The pain, the frustration. And I asked myself, okay, what's really going on here? Why does it feel so painful? And what I found was this: it wasn't really about views or numbers or likes or anything like that. It was about meaning. I had attached my worth to an outside measure. And of course, that hurts because I was giving my power away. So I turned the question around and I asked, why did I start this at the first place? And when I asked that, I remembered I didn't start to chase numbers or to feed an algorithm. I started because my own healing felt so important and too important to keep it locked inside, because I was convinced when I share my healing story and those of my clients, it could inspire many other people to heal too. And every time I told a story, I shared a tool, I reflected out loud, I was healing another piece inside of me too. So the truth is, even if no one ever responded, it would be still worth it, because it's not about that. Because every video, first of all, heals me too. And if it helps one other person along the way, then that's already impact. And then I remembered one line that I always tell my clients when they feel disencouraged. It's so much easier to help others, but it's harder to, get ourselves out of these spirals and holes. But what I always tell them is, never underestimate the impact you have. And that hit me. Yes, that's it. Because I can never fully know how my stories transform someone else's life. And even if just one person felt lighter, better, inspired, that's what it's all about. It's not about numbers. And that for me was the breakthrough. I suddenly saw that impact is often invisible. It lives quietly inside people and sometimes for years before it blossoms. So the seed is planted the moment I share, and the moment they hear your words too when you share something. And just because you don't see the sprout doesn't mean it isn't growing and becoming a huge plant. So who knows who saw my videos? And who knows what impact it had on them? Sometimes it's the person who never tells you that they were touched. And sometimes it's just simply you healing in the act of sharing, reflecting. So once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. And that felt so good because I realized even the videos with less than 50 views, they matter too because, first of all, I matter, these healing stories matter, and the act of speaking truth matters. And come on, 50 people, that's a lot. These are 50 people, and maybe one of them felt better or lighter. So every time I press record now, and this was also the case today, I remember that I'm not just creating content for an algorithm, I'm creating healing. And like so often, when you let go of the pressure, suddenly you can see what you couldn't see before. The same was my case, when I realized that a day after. So I spoke with two friends from two different corners of the world, and both of them told me that someone they knew had brought up my work, saying how much they loved it and how much they were inspired by it. Of course, that felt so good. And that moment just confirmed what I had realized before, that the ripples always go much farther than you can see or you even think they could. And here is my message for you: never ever underestimate the impact you have. It's an invisible impact. Sometimes it's just one conversation, or a smile, a word of encouragement, or simply showing up authentically. You never know who needed that moment. You never know the impact you made. And you might never know, but I can guarantee you this: when you share from your heart, then it's never wasted. It's always exactly that, what the world needs. If you found this video helpful, then please like it and don't forget to subscribe. It really supports my work and it helps me to reach even more people who might need this transformational work. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm sending you so much love and see you in the next video.